And we begin with breaking news right now in Raleigh. An active shooting situation. It's in Heddingham near Osprey Cove Drive and Bay Harbor Drive. We see the Raleigh police right here. We just saw highway patrol officers also joining this investigation.
Yeah, residents in this area are being told to shelter in place. Let's go to Mark Boyle in the WRAL Live Center with what else we know about this incident. Mark.
Well, Gerald, this certainly is an active situation that's unfolding right now. Eric Miller providing these ground pictures for us show you again. They have four-wheelers, they have ambulances, fire trucks as police continue to pour into this area. This picture where Eric is off of Eagle Trace Drive. This is not where the shooting happened. I'm going to change this monitor here, let Eric step back up. I want to bring this to your attention too. This is the press release we have from police. Residents in that area advised to remain in their home. That area is the Neuse River Greenway near Osprey Cove Drive and Bay Harbor Drive. This is the neighborhood. On the map, you can see there are hundreds of homes in that area. This is the Neuse River Trail, the Greenway. It runs right along that neighborhood. We have been hearing that this is an active shooting situation. Police have confirmed that. The number of people shot is not confirmed. Show you Sky 5 video right now on your screen. We can show you what it looks like. Sky 5's refueling right now. They should be back live in just a couple of minutes. But when we first arrived on scene, we saw officers with long guns out there coming in with police tape to secure the area. We don't know if the shooting happened in a home or perhaps along the Greenway or that wooded area behind the home.
We see a lot of big scenes as we're covering shootings and other incidents in the city of Raleigh, but I haven't seen anything like this, certainly not in the last year. Just the size of this police presence.
This is the active shooting situation, the Heddingham neighborhood. Shooting happened right along this area, the Neuse River Greenway Trail. Several people taken to the hospital, several fatalities, and we're working to gather more information as this still is an active situation.
Also, we are hearing from Chelsea Donovan, who is at Wake Med. She said 5 more police cars just flew into the Wake Med emergency room area.
We know that 3 people are being treated in the trauma center, and we also know that the hospital here, the perimeter is secured. So a lot of activity happening here at Wake Med on New Bern Avenue.
All right, Chelsea, thank you so much for that update.
We're told 3 people are in the trauma center, as Chelsea just mentioned. Multiple people have been killed. Now, one of the injured, we're told, is a Raleigh police officer. We're continuing to follow this story and get as much information about the injured and about the suspect or suspects as we continue to follow this live from Sky 5 over that wooded area.
One mother has told me that she's on the phone with her son in the house just a couple of doors down from where this shooting happened. That woman saying that her son has stuck his head outside. Every time he does that, he has seen Raleigh police officers with long guns. They're waiting, who yell at him to go back in, saying that, you know, this is an active shooter situation and that he needs to be inside and stay there to be safe. Still though, it is so hard to do when you've got family member on the outside of a scene like this and family members who are stuck on the inside. That mother and son having an extended conversation this evening about what to do, about how to reunite and how to stay safe as this remains a very active situation here this evening.
And what a helpless situation, a helpless feeling for the people in those cars and people in their homes right now.
Just before you came to us, about 10 to 12 police vehicles also rushed in. This is as close as we can get to where police are searching.
We see in every live shot that we take how quickly these vehicles are flying around on these streets, blocking roads off. I think that's very telling.
Well, that's what happens when there is a suspect still on the loose. We know multiple people are dead and the person responsible has not been caught yet.
But once again, we have another patient here that brings the patients from this situation to 4. 3 of them we can confirm are in very serious condition.
My sources have all told me that it's a 15 or 16-year-old male with all camouflage, pants, shirt, camouflaged out, and he had a shotgun and he had a backpack. And that is what they've been looking for quite some time.
Reporter Chris Lovingood. Chris spoke to a witness who lives in the Heddingham community. Chris, tell us what you're learning.
Not just a witness, Lena. This is someone who called 911. He told me, as you heard Chad Flowers say, police told people to stay inside, hunker down while they are trying to track this person down. And I spoke to a man named Robert, and he said that he lives at Sapphire Valley Drive. If you're looking at a map, it's not too far from Osprey Cove, where police initially showed up. And I want you just to listen exactly what Robert saw when he looked out his back window.
I saw him basically past my house in the backyard. He had a long barrel shotgun. He was dressed in camo. He had a full backpack on that was also camouflage.
Now, that's only a snippet of our interview. He got very emotional during that moment because he said when he watched this man walk forward, and this is his words, he said he saw someone walking down the pathway, and that is when he saw this person with this firearm walking down the pathway, and that is when he heard shots fired. But he said the moment he saw something that looked wrong, he called 911 immediately. He said at one point he even tried to go down onto the trail and try to tell officers exactly what he had seen and point them in the direction where he saw this person go. And he said at that moment, police told him to put his hands up because, again, that just speaks to the high alert that police were on right now during this situation.
What did this witness see?
Well, Dan, we're here off Osprey Cove Drive inside the Heddingham neighborhood right next to the Neuse River Greenway. This is that primary crime scene. This is where everything started this evening, right here behind me. And I've got a woman here who arrived here on this scene. She doesn't want to show her face. She doesn't want to share her name. It's obviously been a very stressful day for a lot of folks. But she got here moments after this happened. Walk me through. What did you see out here?
We heard the gunshots. I saw him, you know, bleeding out in the car.
That would be the officer, the Raleigh police officer.
The off-duty cop, yes, sir. My neighbors were trying to assist him. I was on my way out of the neighborhood and saw the shooter running through the park behind the house connected to the Greenway.
What did he look like? What was he wearing?
He was a Caucasian, younger guy, looked like a teenager, like anywhere between 13 and 16, honestly. He had no facial hair, no nothing. He looked like a baby, in all camouflage attire and black boots. I don't know why I noticed the black boots, but he had on these calf boots. And then you could just see him carrying a long gun, a long black gun. I don't know what kind of gun. It looked kind of like a hunting gun. But, you know, the cops came running in here, of course, racing in here. I tried to get their attention to go in the opposite direction. And obviously they didn't catch him while he was here. And unfortunately, other things have occurred that I'm now just finding out about on the Greenway.
I think what was really compelling was that witness describing the person she saw as very young, no facial hair,
right,
teenager, baby face,
right,
armed, and in camo.
Yeah, I mean, we still have a lot to learn about the suspect, about what happened, the motivation.
And as I zoom in here, you can see literally where all of this started. Neighbors telling us that was that police officer's car and that officer was, in fact, sitting inside that car when he was shot. Multiple bullets coming through both the windshield as well as the window there. You can see personal effects scattered on the ground where this scene played out, these terrifying moments that neighbors had to deal with this afternoon. We have talked to people who did, know the officer that was shot, know that family. We know that that officer did have a young child who's unfortunately having to be looked after by neighbors here tonight, as both, that officer was rushed to the hospital, his wife going with him there as well. This community, coming together to try to help. We've talked a lot about over the course of today, the fact that there are so many different scenes, so many different components to this shooting over the course of the day. And a lot of the folks here in the Osprey Cove neighborhood, or the Osprey Cove area, they're very familiar with this scene right here. But those other pieces of the puzzle, they're still piecing them together, much like a lot of folks are this evening.
So much emotion, and parents have to explain to their children what's going on when they don't know themselves. A lot of questions. Why are there so many police cars in our neighborhood? I can only imagine the conversations going on tonight.
Well, and that's why we are staying on the air. We have been in continuous coverage now for more than 2 hours because we are trying to figure out information, learn new details, and then be able to bring them to you.
Take a look at this. So you have attention Nightdale residents. We have been actively monitoring the situation regarding the active shooter in eastern Raleigh. We can now inform you that the suspect has been captured. There's no longer any threat to the public.
Well, Deborah, police continue to hold this scene hours after this first started. You know, you can see the lights, you can see the tape behind me. Osprey Cove Drive still blocked off. Talking to neighbors around here, this started right around 5 o'clock this afternoon. We spoke to one woman who was here literally moments after this shooting happened. She said the officer, that Raleigh police officer who had to be rushed to the hospital, he was inside that white car you see there on your screen. Multiple shots coming through the windshield and the side window. She then described the shooter, a young man, she said 13 to 16-year-old, looked fresh-faced, looked like he couldn't even grow a beard, wearing all camouflage and black boots. She said she saw him walking away, a long gun. She couldn't tell if it was a shotgun, couldn't tell if it was a rifle, some kind of long gun in a hand as he went off to the right here, off to where the Neuse River Greenway is.
Right now, the mayor of Raleigh, Mary Ann Baldwin, is walking out.
This is a sad and tragic day for the city of Raleigh. RPD has confirmed 5 fatalities. One of them was an off-duty Raleigh police officer.
What we know is the mayor said that the suspect is contained.
Gerald, 3 minutes ago, Raleigh police putting out this tweet. This is the breaking news we've been waiting for all night. The suspect is now in custody. There's been questions about if the suspect is alive or not. This indicates right here the suspect is alive, and now police have that suspect. It's unclear right now if they're going to take the suspect to the hospital to be treated. That's likely what would happen in this case, to be checked out. But this information is breaking right here. You see the timestamp at 9:37, so that puts a lot of people at ease this evening. This has been going on, Gerald and Deborah, now for several hours tonight.
It does. A big update there, Mark. We appreciate it. The suspect in custody. We still have many of the injured and, of course, the victims, the people who didn't survive this shooting today, to think about as we move forward. There are going to be some painful nights ahead for that community and those families. Apparently, the suspect is on his way to Wake Med. That ambulance is carrying the suspect in this shooting from the Heddingham neighborhood. This is to get you up to speed on what we're talking about today. 5 people killed, a Raleigh police officer among those who have lost their lives. The suspect is in custody in that ambulance heading to Wake Med right now. This is a rapidly developing story still at 10 o'clock, nearly 5 hours after this started.
As we seek answers to those questions, let's all pray for these victims, their families, the communities that have been shocked by this, and that we all depend on each other and help each other during this difficult period of time.
This is an incredibly difficult thing. A mass shooting here in Raleigh, something that, you know, this community, certainly in Heddingham, has never had to face before. It's going to be a challenge to see how they can move forward as these investigators continue their work.
Yeah, a lot of work still to be done, but you're right, a lot of people coming together and just trying to support each other through this. Eric Miller, live in Raleigh. Thank you.